Welcome to InnerQuest, and today I'm going to talk to you about remarkable substance. So this month, it's been all about God and matter, and last week, Cindy's service was entitled Simple Steps to Awareness, and she talked to us and explained how we can lose the awareness, our connection to God, and different things that we could do to reconnect. She had 4 simple steps for us. And they were 1, include God in everything. 2, seek the counsel of God. 3, follow our guidance that we get. And 4, expect miracles. So that was a great service. You may want to go back and watch that. Okay, so today we're talking about life and teachings of the Masters of the Far East. And this is Baird Spalding's take on his experience and the researchers that he traveled with to the Himalayas. They spent approximately 3.5 years there in the late 1800s. So it was an interesting journey. They lived with the native people there. They slept, they ate, they worked with them. They were trying to learn about them, learn their culture, their heritage, their beliefs. And so he wrote all this down, the experiences. It's pretty awesome. So what happened was, though, on that trip, they kind of experienced more than what they thought they would. And I think all of us go through that. You know, there's times that we set out to do something different, something interesting, something we're excited about, you know, where we want to help somebody or do community service, something for the greater good. And when we do that and we get in that energy, we realize that there's hidden potential within those people that we're working with. There's so much more that we can see within them. And then we start to realize that those are inside of us. It's an awesome experience. So anyway, with that simple intention that we set out to help people, it expands. It expands within us. We get lifted. Our vibration increases. And the life and teachings tells us about this expanded energy that that the masters, they lived with honor. They taught peace, harmony, compassion. There was love, awareness, and within that they had truth. And this is their truth. This is what they lived in, and this is how they expressed. So shortly after arriving there, Baird and the researchers, they started having experiences when they were with the masters. And it was experiences of the master's truth, which was very interesting. And at this point in the story that I want to read, they had gone out on several excursions, traveled here and there, ancient sites, and learned about different things. And during that time, the group had noticed that it was very interesting. The masters would go out, and when they returned in the evening, they looked pristine. Their clothes were completely clean. And they were like, this is interesting. So why is it the masters can stay clean, you know? They asked. And they never got an answer, you know. So they're out on another excursion, and they'd been hiking all day long, and they noticed again that the masters are clean. There's no dirt on them. So they asked again, and this time they received an answer, but the answer they received was hard for them to understand because they weren't at the same vibrational energy. So I'd like to read about that. It's chapter 16 on page 93, and it's about midway. And bear with me, I did leave my glasses in my other vehicle. Okay. The three friends who were with us and hand in hand walked every single step of the way as we had walked, were not showing the least signs of fatigue or weariness, whereas we were begrimed, dust-laden, and perspiring. They were cool and at ease. Their garments were as white and fresh, as spotless as when we started out in the morning. We had noticed during all of our journeys with these people that none of their clothing became soiled. We had remarked about this a great many times, but had received no reply until this evening, when in answer to a remark made, our friend of the record said, "This is remarkable to you, but it seems far more remarkable to us that one speck of God's created substance adheres to another of God's creations, where it is not wanted and where it does not belong." I want to read that part again. This may seem remarkable to you, but it seems far more remarkable to us that not one of God's created substances adheres to another of God's creations where it is not wanted and where it does not belong. And when I read that, I was like, wow, okay, my mind's blown again. Because as a metaphysician, I can understand what they're saying. And I totally agree with it. The attraction, the vibration within that statement. And yet, I logically know that if I go out and trample through all the dust and dirt, I am going to be covered in it. So, what is my true belief there? I'm believing what they say, but yet my mind tells me something totally different. It takes me back to when I was in metaphysics for the first time, and questioning all these different things. What is it that I truly believe? Because I thought I believed in certain things, but then just like this statement, I went in and realized, you know what? If I believe that, why am I doing this? It was a time of self-analyzation and questioning. And then we moved on, and I realized and learned about relative truth. And in relative truth, it's what we currently believe, what we believe in that moment in time. And you can all relate, when we were 5, we had beliefs, 10, 15. They're gone, most of them. We've matured. We've become wiser. And hopefully we're still learning. And if we're still learning, that means that our beliefs are still changing. So, at that moment, I also realized, because I said, yeah, I can understand this, but my logical beliefs are telling me something else. I realized that those logical teachings are holding me back from my true potential. And I bet every one of you are right there with me. We're brought up to think logically. Logically, if I'm in the dirt and dust, I'm going to be covered in it. Why? Why should I be? Just as the masters. These things we don't think about at times. And then when we read about them, we become awake and aware. And it's amazing. So I want to give you a little example of how our thoughts and our words kind of create. So here's the scenario. My phone. Let's say I got my phone, and I've cracked the screen now so horribly that I can't see anything anymore. It's like, okay, time to go get a new phone. So I go out and I find the phone that I want, and I'm so excited. I haven't had a phone in forever, and I'm like, yep, okay, let me purchase it. And as I'm purchasing it, what goes through my mind? How soon before I crack the screen on this phone? Oh, yeah. And I feel that knot in my stomach because it's like, I don't want that to happen. It makes me sad, right? But yet I'm creating that. I'm sending that energy out to the universe. I'm saying, hey, I need my phone to be cracked. Order up, you know? But in reality, do I really want my phone to be cracked? No. These are the things that we create with our thoughts and our energy all the time, every day, day in and day out. And we don't want to really experience it. We need to be aware of those things. Think. Several years ago, a friend of mine had a stuffy nose, and they hadn't gotten rid of it, and they're always really healthy. And so they went to see their doctor to see what's going on. And the doctor said, well, I think you might have allergies. I'm going to send you to an allergist. So, okay, whatever. And so, that thought was planted. I think you have allergies. So they were going, doctor's sending me in to see an allergist. Maybe I have allergies. So now the seed has been planted, this new thought, and they're processing it in their head. So I don't know if any of you have been to an allergist before, but you go in and they take the inside of your forearm and then they put all these little things that you could be allergic to, these oils with, loaded with grass and, nuts and you name it. And then they did the other side on this person. So they had 2 rows going on both arms, just loaded with it. And they said, okay, go home. In the morning, if you have a reaction, call us, let us know, and we'll get you in. So they get up the next morning, and sure enough, their arms are just swollen, little blisters everywhere. Like, wow. So they go in to see the allergist, and while they're in there, the doctor grabs their arms and looks and says, oh my goodness, you're allergic to everything. I don't know how you made it this long without seeing a specialist. And of course, they're going, oh my gosh, I'm allergic to everything. Now what? And from that moment on, they had major issues, more than just a stuffy nose. I mean, it was coughing constantly when I saw them, runny nose, watery eyes, and it wasn't just, like our normal allergies when, pollen comes in. It was everything that was bothering them. And so one day, I was visiting with them, and I said, hey, I just want to talk to you because, before you went and seen the specialist, you used to do really well. I mean, I know when it would rain and mold would get stirred up, I'd go into and my eyes would be watering. But you were fine. You could go out and fresh cut grass, no issues. And at that moment, they started thinking about it and going, you're right. I was good before. They remembered that. And they started replacing those new thoughts and ideas that were set into their head by these doctors with their truth. And sure enough, within a few months, they were doing great again. It's crazy what we do. Another friend was having a little pain in their tooth. They went into the dentist. Dentist says, well, I think you might need to go see the orthodontist because you need a root canal. So they're like, oh, gosh, I don't want to do one. They put it off for a few months, and then they started getting more pain, and then it started going to their sinuses. It's like, oh, crud, I better get in because now I've got an infection. They went in, the orthodontist looked at them, said, you don't need a root canal. There's nothing wrong with your tooth. They went home in total shock, and within 3 days, all the pain was gone. They were fine. These experiences demonstrate how strong, how powerful we are. We create in that universal substance what we want to experience. And if we don't really think about it and we just put out our thoughts willy-nilly or take in new thoughts and ideas that don't vibrate or resonate with us, we create things that we may not ever want to experience. Yeah, So why is it that we as the human race are so ready to believe in the negative? We create like, boom, oh yeah, I'm going to have flat tires. Sure, I can do that. But it takes an act of God to believe that we can create something positive and wonderful in our lives. I mean, we have to invest all kinds of energy. But on a daily basis, we can come up with a negative thing. Sure, no problem. That's because we're not awake and aware. Take some time. Change your thoughts. Go within. Use your meditations, your affirmations. That's where it starts. And we can be so much more. As metaphysicians, we also say here, we believe we're divine children of God, right? But then there's that little nagging voice that'll come up and say, well, yeah, I'm a divine child of God, but to do all that, you got to invest all this time and say all this stuff, and I don't have time for that. Or, well, they've got the talent, I don't. I'm only human. All these silly little thoughts come up. If we would believe in ourselves and who we truly are, the world is ours. We can expand that consciousness, that substance that is there for our taking. I mean, God says, here I am, It's universal substance. Form it. Create it. What do you want? We're the choosers. What are we choosing in our life? So, how we feel inside is a reflection of what we're creating outside and around us. And here at InnerQuest, our mission statement is the journey of life is to know oneself. The path begins in the heart. And it is within our heart that is going to tell us who we truly are. I remember when I went to Turkey. I was, with the church. We all went to Turkey, and I think it was 2011. And I was getting ready, and at that time I was having some issues with asthma. And I managed to get into my asthma specialist and see her just days before we were about to leave. And she said, well, you've got some issues going on. There's swelling in your lungs and blah, 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 blah. And I'm going, And she says, right now it's not a good time for you to travel. And I went, And she says, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Can you postpone it? And I'm like, no, I can't change this. And so she gave me a strong prescription, and I walked out with a piece of paper in my hand wondering, what the heck am I going to do now? So I went home, and I slept on it. And thank goodness I was going through all my training, all my seminary stuff. So I had been training and going within and asking for guidance, and that's exactly what I did. Because, sometimes we forget to do that when we really should be doing it. Anyway, so during that night, I got the guidance that I was told in a dream that if I had enough faith to go to Turkey and put at least my foot in the Aegean Sea, I would be healed. I thought, okay, interesting. So I made the decision not to have the prescription filled, went to Turkey with the church, and when we did get to the Aegean Sea, I not only put my foot in, I dove in. I was like, I'm going to take all the healing I can get. And it was wonderful. I had a great swim, and the trip was wonderful. It was quite a blessing. When I got home, I had a follow-up visit with my specialist, and she's checking me out and running my stats and looking at her paperwork going, Okay. She goes, well, I don't know what you're doing, but keep it up because everything's right in line where it should be. It's great. And I went, oh, good. And I was so excited, I shared with her my healing experience. And she's looking at me going, And you know why? Because that idea, that concept was not in her consciousness. Her consciousness is, let me write a prescription so you can be healed, right? So, and that's fine. And I'm not knocking doctors. There are times that we need that, and they are very helpful. But there are times that we need to listen and follow our own guidance, to go within to our heart. And that is where we're going to hear clearly. Not when we're up here in our head just going, okay, what's next? What's next? Remember the logic teaching? It's all from up here. Okay, so I'm going to do a little demonstration, and just bear with me. Okay, so what I want you to do is imagine going to your closet, okay? And you go in and you're in front of your shoes. What I want you to see is your favorite pair of comfy shoes, okay? And I want you to grab the right shoe only and put that right shoe on your foot. Now, I want you to see your favorite pair of dress shoes. And I want you to put the left shoe on your foot. Feels a little strange, maybe? Yeah. Okay, you can open your eyes. So this is one of my favorite comfy shoes. Bum around, wear it all the time. I love it. It supports me. It's filled with my energy. You know, it's great. I live in it during the summer. And this is one of my favorite dress shoes. I have been out in it. I have danced. I have run in it. But I can tell you that when I'm standing in these, right and left, it's not comfortable. I tried it, standing in my closet, just to see. It felt awkward. I was not in alignment, nor was I in balance. Now, both of those shoes, just like yours, are filled with your energy. You would think that if you're wearing your shoes, you should be in balance, right? But you're not. And that's because your heart and your mind have not come together. You're running on your mind and your thoughts and your words, and you're not bringing that heart in. So this was a visual example of what happens when our thoughts are not aligned with our words. It's a creation that throws us out of whack. Now, when we put on the same shoes and can come into alignment with both, we are in balance, as I'm wearing right now. Two of the same shoes. I'm feeling comfortable. I'm balanced. So, how do you think? What do you think? Same shoes? When you think about putting on your shoes now, that thought's going to come into your head, and it'll help support you throughout your day. You'll think about, what are my thoughts? What am I saying? What am I creating at this moment in time? Did you know that there is a scientific field that is called psychoneuroimmunology? Okay, so it's the study of the effects of our mind on our physical health and our immune system. In other words, it's how our thoughts can affect our physical health and how we fight disease with those thoughts. Our thoughts are, as I said, influence us each and every day in, day out, every minute. And you've all heard of the placebo effect, right? They give somebody a pill and say, oh, this is going to fix your issue, whatever it is. And some people have experienced healings from it. They have documented it scientifically, and at the same time, there was no medicine in those pills. No medicine whatsoever. So what was it that transformed them, that healed them? Their thoughts, their mind, their belief. And once you get to belief, you've activated your heart. You've come together in balance and created a new reality, a reality where we see miracles like my healing. You see transformation like my friends that managed to come out of their old beliefs that weren't serving them. So I think that was pretty interesting to know that science has documented these things and moving forward, that it's tangible. It's not just willy-nilly. And there's one other thing in Life and Teachings that I wanted to read here. And it's page 56. Okay. And this is about a healing temple. Okay. Located in this village was a healing temple. It is claimed that only words of life, love, and peace have been given expression in this temple since its erection. And the vibrations are so potent that nearly all who pass through the temple are instantly healed. It is also claimed that the words of life, love, and peace have been used and sent out so long from this temple, and the vibrations emanating from them are so strong that should words of inharmony and imperfection be used at any time, they would have no power. This is what we can do in our lives. When we redirect, we build a foundation of positive thinking that anything negative is not going to have an effect on us. And it's amazing to think about the accumulation, that energy built up time after time. That's what we can do. So this morning when you came in, did you feel an energy shift? Because last night we had healing Reiki night, and that energy was so beautiful last night. It was a high vibration that we were anointed with. Amazing, amazing. Each healing night is a little different, the energy. And this one was soft but powerful. I think the masters were with us, so it was awesome. And if you haven't ever come for a crystal healing, sound, color, last Tuesday we were fortunate enough to get a healing in color. Patrick did that. This church, InnerQuest, is such a blessing because they do special healings. They work with us. They help support us. They teach us about our unlimited potential that's within each one of us. And those are some of the things that you're going to read about in the Life and Teachings. So if you're one of those people that, show me, seeing is believing, show up here at InnerQuest. Make yourself an appointment for a healing. Oh my gosh, take one of the classes. You will be transformed. I guarantee it. You can't help but be transformed because of the universal substance, that remarkable substance that runs through each and every one of us, that connects us as one, but allows us to have our unique identity and create what we want to create. It's awesome. So, Baird and his team, his research team, during this time, they were on a journey of a lifetime. But all of us, we're in the journey of life. We are creating and experiencing at this moment. What is it you want to create and experience moving forward? Do you want to use that wonderful substance that's available to you? Imagine what we all could do if we truly believed and understood who we were, who we are. We're divine masters of remarkable substance. So, who's ready to go within and connect to that remarkable substance? So if you'll just close your eyes and just feel God's love coming over you. Feel that column of light moving through you. Let the peace wash over you. And now start to move down to your heart. Slowly, as you stand there before your heart, just feel the love that you're surrounded with. And I want you to now walk through the door into that garden, into that sacred space. And as you do, before you is a path that just slowly meanders along. And as you move down this path, you notice ahead of you is a pond. It's a reflective pond. And I want you to move close to the edge, stand over it. It is crystal clear, completely calm, and you can see your reflection in it. And as you stand there and look at your reflection, I want you to see the love within you. And as you look at that love, I want you to see this beautiful pink aura starting to surround you and expanding out. And as that aura expands, the clarity becomes soft. And you are looking now into the universe, into expanded potential, unlimited possibilities. It's expansive and waiting for you. I want you to hold out your hand. And as you do, I want you to see a sphere being created in front of you. The swirling energy. And it just floats over to your hand and hovers over it. Gaze into that sphere. And as you gaze into it, see your desires. See your potential. The possibilities. It is filled with self-love and all the support you will ever need. And now I want you to take that sphere and move it into your heart. And just feel it absorbing into your being. Feel the gratitude moving through you. The love, the oneness. And now as your vision pulls back, you can see that pink aura in the pond again. You feel yourself standing there, and the vision becomes clearer. You can see your reflection. And as you look at your reflection, I want you to look into your eyes. See the transformation within those eyes. See the love. See the expanded consciousness. Feel it. Send your gratitude to the universe. And know that this small piece of the remarkable substance is within you to access at any time to create your desire. And I want you to feel yourself moving back down the path. And through the door of your heart. And I want to feel yourself moving up into your consciousness. And in your consciousness, I want you to send love to that logical mind, knowing that it is always trying to support you, but understanding that it will find harmony and balance with your heart. Take a breath and open your eyes. I thank all of you for coming today, and I can't wait to hear what you all create moving forward. Thank you.